What if the snack you think is healthy, the one you reach for without a second thought, is actually putting your brain at a shocking, immediate risk? As a brain doctor, I've seen things that defy conventional wisdom. And one of the most surprising revelations I've encountered revolves around something deceptively innocent, a common nut that, for many seniors, could be an overnight threat to brain health, dramatically increasing the risk of stroke. We're not talking about some obscure, exotic food here. We're talking about a nut that graces many kitchen counters, often touted for its purported health benefits. Yet, for a significant portion of our older population, this very nut can trigger a dangerous cascade of events in the body, culminating in a heightened risk of a stroke, sometimes within hours of consumption. Let me be clear, this isn't about fear-mongering. This is about critical, often overlooked, information that every senior, and everyone who cares for a senior, needs to understand. Because when it comes to brain health, especially as we age, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. The nut I'm referring to is the Brazil nut. Now, before you dismiss this, hear me out. For years, Brazil nuts have been praised for their high selenium content, an essential mineral, and yes, in moderation. For certain individuals, selenium is beneficial, but for seniors, particularly those with underlying, often undiagnosed, vulnerabilities, that very selenium can become a potent adversary. Here's why. While selenium is a micronutrient, vital for thyroid function and antioxidant defense, it's also a heavy metal. And like all heavy metals, there's a delicate balance. Too much, especially in a concentrated form, can be toxic. Brazil nuts are, by far, the richest dietary source of selenium. Just 1 or 2 can exceed the daily recommended intake. And for some, even a small handful can push them into dangerous territory. Imagine your body like a finely tuned machine. Every system, every organ, relies on precise chemical signals and balances. When you introduce an excessive amount of a powerful substance like selenium, particularly when your body's processing and detoxification systems are naturally slowing down with age, those balances can be profoundly disrupted. What we see, in some seniors, is a rapid and alarming reaction. When you consume too many Brazil nuts, especially on an empty stomach or in conjunction with other selenium-rich foods, your body can be hit with a sudden overload. This isn't a slow, insidious process. This can be an acute event. One of the most immediate and concerning effects we observe is on the cardiovascular system. Your blood vessels, which are already undergoing age-related stiffening and potential plaque buildup, are highly susceptible to sudden changes. When your body is overwhelmed with selenium, it can trigger a rapid constriction of these blood vessels. Think of it like a hose suddenly being squeezed, the pressure inside skyrockets. This sudden surge in blood pressure, often termed a hypertensive crisis, puts immense strain on your arteries, especially those delicate vessels supplying blood to your brain. Your brain, in turn, is exquisitely sensitive to these pressure fluctuations. When blood pressure spikes dramatically, it's like a warning siren screaming through your neural pathways. Your brain sends signals, trying to compensate, trying to protect itself. But if the pressure is too intense, or if there's already a weakened area in a blood vessel, that vessel can rupture, leading to a hemorrhagic stroke. Or, the sudden constriction and turbulence can dislodge a tiny clot, sending it directly to the brain, causing an ischemic stroke. Both are devastating. And it's not just the immediate blood pressure spike. Excessive selenium intake can also promote inflammation. Imagine your blood vessels swelling up, like irritated, inflamed tubes. This inflammation makes them more fragile, more prone to damage. It also creates a more hospitable environment for blood clots to form. For seniors, whose inflammatory responses are often already heightened due to other age-related conditions. This added inflammatory burden from something as seemingly innocuous as a handful of nuts can be the tipping point. Let me share a hypothetical, but all too common, scenario. Consider Martha, a vibrant 72-year-old woman. She reads an article about the benefits of selenium for brain health and decides to incorporate Brazil nuts into her daily routine. She's a creature of habit. So she starts snacking on a small handful, say, 5 or 6 Brazil nuts, every afternoon. She might even mix them into her morning oatmeal. Unbeknownst to her, Martha has a pre-existing, undiagnosed predisposition to hypertension, and her body's ability to process excess minerals isn't what it once was. Within a few days, she starts feeling a little off. Maybe a slight headache. A bit of dizziness she attributes to just getting older. One evening, after her usual handful of nuts, she experiences a sudden, splitting headache, followed by confusion and weakness on one side of her body. Her family, recognizing the signs, rushes her to the emergency room. The diagnosis? A stroke. The doctors are baffled. She had no obvious risk factors for such a sudden event. But when her dietary intake is reviewed, the excessive Brazil nut consumption stands out as a glaring, yet often overlooked, culprit. Or consider John, a spry 68-year-old who's always been health conscious. He's meticulous about his diet and has recently started buying large bags of Brazil nuts, believing them to be a superior snack for heart and brain health. He's taking a multivitamin that also contains selenium. And he loves tuna, another food with moderate selenium levels. He's unknowingly creating a cumulative overload. One night, after a large handful of Brazil nuts as a late-night snack, he wakes up feeling profoundly disoriented. His speech slurred. Another stroke, another perplexing case, until the pieces of the dietary puzzle are assembled. These aren't isolated incidents. The subtle interplay of individual physiology, pre-existing conditions, and cumulative dietary intake makes this a complex issue. But the pattern, for those of us who observe it clinically, is striking enough to warrant a serious warning. So, what's the actionable advice? First and foremost, if you are a senior, or caring for one, be incredibly mindful of Brazil nut consumption. My strong recommendation, based on the potential for acute effects, is to avoid Brazil nuts entirely if you have a history of high blood pressure, heart disease, or any neurological vulnerabilities. If you are otherwise healthy and still wish to consume them, do so with extreme caution and in very limited quantities. We're talking about 1, maybe 2 nuts. And certainly not on a daily basis. And absolutely, never, ever consume a handful. It's crucial to understand that more isn't always better, especially when it comes to powerful micronutrients. Your body's selenium needs are tiny, and most people can meet them through a varied diet that includes lean meats, fish, eggs, and grains. You don't need Brazil nuts to get your selenium. In fact, many seniors are already getting adequate selenium from their regular diet and any supplements they might be taking. Adding Brazil nuts on top can easily push them into a state of selenium toxicity, which can manifest with a variety of symptoms including hair loss, brittle nails, fatigue, and as we've discussed, acutely, cardiovascular issues leading to stroke risk. What should you eat instead? There are countless brain-healthy alternatives that offer genuine benefits without the acute risks. Focus on foods rich in antioxidants and healthy fats, which actively protect your brain and blood vessels. Consider a daily handful of walnuts. These are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are renowned for their anti-inflammatory properties and their ability to support arterial health. They don't carry the same heavy metal burden as Brazil nuts, and their benefits are well established for cardiovascular and brain health. Almonds are another excellent choice, providing vitamin E, an important antioxidant, and healthy monounsaturated fats. They contribute to stable blood sugar levels and overall cardiovascular well-being without the same selenium overload risk. And don't forget blueberries. These tiny powerhouses are bursting with anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that have been shown to improve cognitive function and protect against vascular damage. Make them a regular part of your diet. Beyond specific nuts, think about the broader picture of stroke prevention. It's about a holistic approach. Monitor your blood pressure regularly. This is perhaps the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself from stroke. Invest in a home blood pressure monitor and check it daily. If your readings are consistently elevated, consult your doctor immediately. High blood pressure is often a silent killer, and managing it effectively is paramount. Stay hydrated. Dehydration can thicken your blood and increase the risk of clots. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Engage in regular, moderate physical activity. Even a daily walk can significantly improve blood circulation, strengthen your heart, and help manage blood pressure. You don't need to run a marathon, just consistent movement makes a difference. Manage stress. Chronic stress can elevate blood pressure and inflammation. Explore relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or spending time in nature. Prioritize quality sleep. Your brain repairs and rejuvenates during sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night. Poor sleep can contribute to inflammation and elevated blood pressure. Discuss all your supplements with your doctor before introducing any new supplement. Or if you're taking multiple supplements, have an open conversation with your physician. They can help you identify potential interactions or excessive dosages of certain minerals, like selenium, that could be hiding in your daily regimen. This isn't about eliminating every single, risky, food from your diet. It's about making informed choices, especially as we age, when our bodies become more sensitive and less forgiving of imbalances. The goal is to nourish your brain, protect your blood vessels, and minimize any hidden threats that could undermine your well-being. My hope in sharing this information with you today is not to cause alarm, but to empower you with knowledge. Knowledge that can lead to simple, yet profoundly impactful, adjustments in your daily life. Because your brain, your most vital organ, deserves every ounce of protection and care you can give it. By understanding the surprising nuances of common foods, and by embracing a proactive approach to your overall health, you can significantly reduce your stroke risk and continue to enjoy a vibrant, healthy life. If this information resonated with you, if it shed light on something you hadn't considered, or if you believe it could help someone you love, please consider sharing this message. And if you'd like more insights and practical advice on senior brain health and wellness, I invite you to subscribe. Your brain health matters, and together, we can work to protect it.